Right now, my job is Director of Animal Welfare and Compliance. And I work in a pharmaceutical company, so my role involves the process of looking at the global procedures we have in place to address animal welfare concerns or animal issues or any queries we get from the public. So it's a very general job, not one of your typical lab animal positions. Oh, my career path has been very circuitous, not a straight line at all. I started out as a veterinarian and not a lab animal veterinarian, just working in private practice. Decided to go back to school for get my PhD, and at that point started working in a university setting as a researcher. So from there, I gradually migrated and realized my skills were more in the area of communications, administration, some of the things that most people don't really enjoy doing, and ended up working with the cook at a large pharmaceutical company. So from there, that's evolved now into working more on the global side of things and becoming part of an organization where we manage some of the higher level procedures and activities that go on in a comparative medicine department, rather than animal care and hands-on veterinary work or hands-on science. I'm kind of a mediator between different groups, so it's a good fit for me. I think that as far as my profession goes, how I got here, the traditional path to working in laboratory animal medicine is to become a veterinarian and then do a residency and become specialized in lab animal. And I did not take that traditional path because my path went going to university to become a scientist after I was a veterinarian. And so I learned how to be a scientist and how to address scientific questions. I also worked in a small university, so I became very fond of teaching. And I think all of those things were specialized skills, but the thing that I do now really doesn't directly utilize any of those things, because my role is to communicate on those and to help ensure that people understand what we do, how we do it, why we do it, and to make sure that we're communicating among ourselves and being consistent about the way that we approach animal care and use at our company. So it was a different career path, and it has a very different outcome. It's not a very standardized job, but I think that's kind of a message in this field, that there are many, many opportunities, and some that you would never anticipate when you start out in the field. The government requires that we have a committee at each institution that does research, which is called the IACUC, or the Institutional Animal Care and Use Committee. And that's an organization that's made up of scientists, veterinarians, and others, including a member of the public who represents the public view. And the committee's charge is to ensure that animal welfare at the institution is in compliance with all regulations, and that the procedures that we're going to be using with any animal work that goes on have been reviewed carefully in terms of ethics and weighing cost and benefit, and make sure that their work is scientifically sound, and to be sure that we are aware of what kind of work is going on, and then review, approve that, and then continue to monitor it as the work goes on to be sure that it's being done as described. So the committee has a very large charge in terms of ensuring that the institution stays in compliance with all the regulations, and that people are just doing the right thing when it comes to animal care and use. The thing I like most about my job right now is that no 2 days are the same. I think that when I was in veterinary practice, there was a lot of variety in terms of what I did at that point, but still, I basically knew I was going to be seeing patients and doing surgeries and things like that. Now, any given day, I'm never quite sure what I'm going to do. Some days I'm in an animal facility, some days I'm working in an office, some days I'm meeting with people, I'm on the phone all day, I'm writing letters. But I think that, so I appreciate the variety. I appreciate the ability to use the skills that I've developed over my career, which I think communicating, working effectively with different groups of people, being a facilitator, being a mediator, and helping people to understand what we do. I think all of those things are things that I really have enjoyed in my career. I think that for those who are looking for a career that has a lot of good feelings and a sense that you're really doing a lot of good, a lot of benefit, and that you're doing important work, I think that trying to ensure the safety and the health of the future citizens and animals is a very worthwhile thing to do. I do think that you need to be, as in any other field, you need to be continually questioning. You need to be able to look at an issue from many different perspectives. And I think that you have to be able to continually be learning, because it's not the kind of field where things stay static. There are constantly new developments in terms of research procedures, medical procedures, how we do things. So I think it's important to have a questioning and a curious sense. You can't just expect that you're going to be in a position like this and not grow and change constantly. And I suppose that's true of everything.